the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. My name is Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Very, very good to be here. What a day yesterday it was. Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Forest after just 8 matches in charge. Forest captain Ryan Yates spoke to TalkSport's Sam Matterface and said the players need to look at themselves, not just the manager.
What I can say is that, we need to do more as players. It starts with us on the pitch. We haven't been good enough. We need to look at ourselves in the mirror individually, and we need to put things right. We owe it to the supporters.
Ryan Yates there. Love that. Very, very good. We're going to discuss what it means for Forest and look back on all of yesterday's action. It was a cracking day. Meanwhile, there are 2 massive matches ahead for you. You've got Spurs versus Villa, and Liverpool take on Manchester United. Arne Slot praised the Liverpool fans and says he needs them now more than ever against their derby clash at Anfield.
I think our fans have been so supportive for us, and I think they understand that the team that has lost three times in a row, they need to be ready, our team. But I think our fans can help us and will help us on Sunday.
Well, Ruben Amorim says that their day has... let's start that again. Can't talk. Ruben Amorim says, on their day, his side can beat anyone. Nailed it.
We can win any game. So if we think about just winning the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game.
I can win an award for that presenting this morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Right, take over. Go on, take over for me.
Oh, do you want me now? Do you want me to call you Ange?
You need everything. Yeah, I'll be getting sacked in the morning after that.
She's getting sacked in the morning. I was at Crystal Palace yesterday.
Oh, you got the game,
and sometimes I was sitting around the table and there's a few journalists there, and of course, when Chelsea, because it was the early game, was being played, we're watching it, and you can sort of hear the thoughts and he's sack in the morning. It's going to happen once he got to 3-0, and I said he might not survive tonight. Yeah, thinking it probably will happen tomorrow, but it happened straight after, literally minutes after the game, which was. I don't think we should be surprised, because I've said many times, Shebahn, on the owner, that He reminds me so much of Tappy. There's a little bit of Doug Ellis in there. There's a little bit of Ken Bates at Chelsea in there as owners of a football club. Yeah. I mean, the Tappy one is the most extreme and I think, the best comparison because Tappy would sack. I think my first season at Marseille, we had 3 managers. My first season, and we got promoted.
Wow.
And it was like 3. We've had 3 managers and we got promoted, but it was always felt doomed, didn't it? The owner, the way he is, the complete reverse of ideas of how Forest were going to play. And then, obviously, Ange coming in, and I'm going to talk a bit about Ange at 7:45 about my thoughts on him as a manager, if I'm allowed.
Please, yeah.
Well, no, some people say you never managed, so what do you know? But I've analysed football for a long time, and there's quite a lot of big questions you have to ask about Ange. So we'll do that a bit later. But I think it was just a scenario that no one is surprised. The supporters are not surprised. People in football are not surprised. We're not surprised.
Yeah. I felt like that was ridicule at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, it's not nice.
The way that he's left it all unfolded, on TalkSport, the fashion that it happened, and you can see it so clearly, even though there was no cameras to capture it. He had his backpack over his shoulder and he left through the other side of the tunnel. You just think, oh gosh, what a lonely walk, a lonely time then for Ange Postecoglou. He's human at the end of the day. Luckily, he'll leave a rich man. There's one way of looking at it.
Two payoffs, and look, his credibility and his CB have been undermined. He won't enjoy that. And we can all talk about the money and say, it'll make up for it. Well, these guys take it personally as well.
Yeah.
Because they want to stay in football. I'm sure Ange will want to stay in football, but it's not going to be in the Premier League again. For sure.
I think you're right about that. It was a really dramatic Saturday. Here's how it all sounded for you here on TalkSport.
If you look at the table, you'll see that Nottingham Forest are in threat of going into the relegation zone by the end of the day. Listen to the boos. Good luck talking your way out of this one. Full time at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3.
Nottingham Forest Football Club have confirmed Ange Postecoglou has been relieved of his duties as the head coach with immediate effect.
It's Sunderland 2, Wolves 0, but this is almost certainly going to go down as a Wolves own goal.
Manchester City 2, Everton 0. Yep, it is that man again. 11 Premier League goals for the season. He's second in the afternoon.
Palace 2, Bournemouth 3. They are going top after all. And Ryan Christie off the bench has the goal.
Brighton 2, Newcastle 1. Danny Welbeck with his second of the afternoon.
Burnley 2, Leeds 0, and this is an absolute stunner from Burnley substitute Luke Chandler.
Up against the keeper, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Jean-Philippe Mateta bags the match ball.
Fulham 0, Arsenal 1, and after all of that, after everything I've said about Arsenal's corners, they've scored from a corner.
What a day for you here on TalkSport. Just to run through the results, as you know, Forest beaten by Chelsea 3-0, Brighton beat Newcastle 2-1, Burnley got that win over Leeds 2-0, Palace and Bournemouth, what a cracker that was. Cass was there, that ended 3-3. Manchester City beat Everton 2-0, Sunderland beat Wolves with the same scoreline, and Arsenal went to Craven Cottage and won 1-0. Are you entertained?
I was yesterday. Wow.
What was that game like? Because I was watching live score and I was in a taxi and I was like, what's happening?
No, well, Bournemouth for 60 minutes were the best team I've seen this season. For 60 minutes. They were frightening.
Next statement.
And well, because Crystal Palace are really good. They are set up brilliantly. They make it difficult for you. They've got their own way of playing. The fast play, before the game started, I watched the warm-up and, you see the circle and there's all players in the circle and they're doing like a keep ball session in the circle. And I thought, God, they're good at keeping the ball, Bournemouth, in practice before the game started. They'd done that for the first 60 minutes. Yeah. They were lightning quick. Boys in midfield, Tyler Adams, certainly Alex Scott in there, and just Semedo was a real handful. He switched sides on a number of occasions. And you had Krupi, who got the couple of goals. Justin Kluivert works 10 times harder than his dad ever did, but he was great in that. But they are a 60-minute team, because you could tell that once Palace got in, and one big thing on Palace, that team never slings in the towel.
Yeah.
Unreal Palace, because they were being beaten up badly in the game, and it was 2-0 and there were some tough decisions and there was, a lot of controversial decisions that happened around the hour mark. But from the hour on, and obviously Glasner made changes and Kete came on, there were slight changes to the team. They went a bit more direct. And then Mateta gets a hat-trick, and I had a glorious chance, by the way, to get a fourth. It's an unreal chance. And then they looked like they're going to win, and then Bournemouth got back 3-2 up. Bournemouth overload in the 18-yard box. Last night, and I'm just going to quickly divert here. Last night, the Fulham game against Arsenal, right at the very end of the game, I think it's Jimenez out wide, gets the ball into the box. There's one Fulham player in the box. Bournemouth yesterday, so many times, 5 and 6 players in the box, all the time. And it was relentless, but they did it for 60 minutes. And it's I think they were leading at Tottenham, wasn't they, 2-0, and they ended up coming back to 2-2, where again, that game, they took Tottenham apart at the Tottenham Stadium. So these are a really dangerous side, but fair play, because what I saw from Palace is the reason why they have been so good and undefeated for such a long time.
Yeah.
It was so obvious. I was like, that team. By the way, neither side carry anybody. Palace and Bournemouth. Both of them don't carry a player.
It's great that now, in these last couple of seasons, and this season it is Palace again, likely, but Bournemouth, just that team that really surprises you. The surprise.
Phenomenal play.
But the fact that you've said for 60 minutes they were the best team to watch in the Premier League so far.
Frightening how good they were. I was like, no one's done that to Palace. Palace have played Man City in a cup final. Liverpool have played them in a Community Shield. The two best clubs that we've seen over the last few years, Palace have handled it. They couldn't handle Bournemouth for 60 minutes, but they stayed in, and that is the testament to Palace, because I think Palace supporters came away and they'll feel a little bit, we should have won it, because the chance to Mateta had.
Yeah.
But for 60 minutes, they were frightening. Their movement, their passing was just exceptional, Bournemouth.
What is in Mateta's cereal these days as well? I mean, the fact that he nearly scored a fourth goal.
He had chances in the game as well.
You've spoken about it many a times, about just being in that good habit of scoring. He's just absolutely on fire at the minute. It's incredible. He's
in the perfect system for him, the way Palace play, and they're not afraid to get it long if they need to. They will get it to him as quick as they can, and he will battle centre halves.
Yeah.
He will battle them, and things will drop, and people will get chances. And for himself, fair play to him. He's a far better finisher than he was when he first joined Palace.
Unbelievable stuff. What a great game that
Apart from the one at the end.
Yes, apart from that, you won't want to be thinking about that. We were saying actually in the office, will he be away feeling happy with a hat-trick, or will be fuming going to bed last night thinking I could have won us the game with that chance?
Knowing the forwards union, he'll be absolutely gutted that he didn't get the fourth, because it would have been the winner.
Yeah, no, exactly that. I mean, and that would have been incredible scenes. Incredible.
Oh, it was great atmosphere. It's always great atmosphere at Palace.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So shortly before that, Ange Postecoglou had been sacked. That's going to be our subject of the morning. What is next, really, for Nottingham Forest? Who wants to work for Evangelos Marinakis as well? I mean, there's all of these things to discuss. It's going to be a busy day here on TalkSport. Want the chance to play with £100,000? Then this is your time to really listen up. It's our biggest cash prize yet. We're going all out. £100,000 completely tax-free could be yours if you're the lucky winner who gets picked to come to TalkSport Towers in London on the 13th of November later on this year for a chance to win that huge cash prize. Listen up. This is how you can get involved.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSport Limited promotion run on TalkSport, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we'll ask if England do have a reliable cover for Harry Kane after all. And we'll talk more about what's next for Big Ange and Nottingham Forest. Good morning. Oh, that'll get you in and about a Sunday morning, won't it, Cass? You've already done 10k before you came in here, didn't you?
No.
He doesn't take the lift, he takes the stairs, this man.
Oh, no, I don't want to do the stairs in this building. There's too many of them.
Oh, God. What are we, 17 floors?
Yeah.
They ever had to do the stairs?
One on the top. Right on the top, 17.
Yeah. Beautiful building, isn't it?
A great view, although we've lost it in the studio. We can see when it starts to get bright outside to the left of us.
Do you know, I don't want to go on about the studio because this took a lot of work. But we have one of the prime views in London. Cost a lot of money to have, and we've got a big giant screen in front of the view. That's good, isn't it? Yeah. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast with Shebahn and Tony Cascarino. Why are we playing Eye of the Tiger? Well, yesterday TalkSport were out and about on the red carpet speaking to Hollywood star Sydney Sweeney at the London Film Festival about her new movie Christy, where she plays boxer Christy Martin. Here she is telling our reporter Emma Kerwin that she grew up as a kickboxer.
I had the pleasure, like you said, of working with Christy. She actually would get in the ring with me and sparred a few times, and she would help walk me through different techniques. And also being able to watch all of the fighting footage, I was able to look at her past fights. I grew up kickboxing, grappling, so I was a fan of the sport as well. But what's a cool thing is every single fight that happens in the movie is the exact fight in her real life. So like her Deidre Gogarty fight, her Layla Lee fight, every combination you see, they're the real combinations from her actual fight. Our fight choreographer, Walt, he was absolutely amazing. Like, he truly took to detail every single move of Christy's, how she would turn her head, where her foot stances were, and there was a lot of care to detail the entire time.
Sydney Sweeney speaking to TalkSport yesterday. Would you go and see this movie, Christy? I love a boxing.
Yeah, I do like a boxing film. Yeah. Yes, I would, yeah.
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 Would you go and see it because of Sydney Sweeney? Because that's why I'm going to go and see it. I'll be honest, man.
Yeah, she does look a very attractive woman, doesn't she?
She is stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning. The movie is out very, very soon, and you can get more on Sydney Sweeney and Christy on our website, talksport.com. Right, let's get into what is the big story of the morning.
Big Ange, big return, has a familiar feeling about it. It's another defeat in North London.
The stadium exploded and Ange, well, he can't quite believe it. Swansea 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
He is the worst manager ever to grace the Premier League. Now there's a statement for you.
I don't really blame Ange, I blame Marinakis.
Sacked in the morning. The chant of the Nottingham Forest fans.
The wait for a first win carries on. 7 matches, that's now without a win.
Even Tottenham decided to exclude the first 10 games because they were an anomaly, apparently. Although the first 10 games here are very important, apparently.
You're always finding reasons to undermine the guy. He would know himself it's been a difficult start to the season. But we have to be fair to the guy.
Of course there's pressure. There's a difference between pressure and saying that somebody should lose their job after 5 weeks.
Chelsea are the latest to inflict damage and pile pressure on the Forest head coach.
Nottingham Forest have wasted no time in taking action. They have sacked Ange Postecoglou moments after the end of the defeat to Chelsea, live on TalkSport.
Oh, what a nightmare for Ange Postecoglou. After just 8 matches in charge, Forest boss Ange has been sacked without winning a single game after defeat 3-0 to Chelsea yesterday at home. I mean, Cass, what did you make of it when you finally got the news? You were at Palace, you said there was a number of journals around you going, right, probably going to be in the morning. But when you finally got that message, we were like, okay, fine.
Well, I was a bit surprised because it was literally minutes after the kickoff. After the end of the match. So, yeah, it's a tough one talking about managers and circumstances because the job in itself is very difficult. I don't think he made it easy. I didn't like some of the rhetoric he used over the years, and I've written down a load of stuff here. I might as well start on some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a basic thing here as well, right? I was told as a youngster, get your hands out your pockets. Right? That might sound trivial, right?
No, you make a good point.
Right? He has his hands in the pockets all the time on the sideline. Now, that's pretty trivial, okay? So it's not... I didn't think he knew how to defend as a coach. I think his whole idea of a high line was questionable at best. You know, let's go back to one very big game against Chelsea at Tottenham. 9-men Spurs decided to play a high line against 11-man Chelsea, which was absolute carnage for Spurs. You know, don't get me wrong, they probably would have lost the game anyway. but they decided to go at that moment and play that not a high line. If you go back to last season, so obviously 17th is the big standout feature. 17th in the league. All the teams that went down deservedly, but quite comfortable. I would say 38 points from 17 games is a poor return. 64 goals scored, 65 against. So it's you can tell how bad the season was. You go back the year before, he got 20 points from his first 10 games. 20. Okay, so that in itself is a lot. They had no European football.
Yeah.
They ended up 5th with 66 points, scored 74, conceded 61. So the high conceding is still there. He seemed to me to have being so insistent about the way he was wanting to play that it didn't matter if they conceded goals. A bit like it didn't matter for him that set pieces were really important. Because when he seemed to have a bit of a disdain for set pieces, where unfortunately the modern game, as we saw with Arsenal last night, again
wins your games.
Set pieces, long throw-ins, corners, free kicks. He seemed to have so many things that he did over that time. To go the first season he was there and get 20 points in the first 10 games, that was as good as it got. Because after that was downhill. And it's been downhill for him at Spurs from that. I'm going to go back to 3 games in his first season at Spurs. He played Newcastle away, and I watched on the telly, they lost 4-0. And they were all over the place, Spurs. I then went to Chelsea, because they played 3 games away from home, literally back to back. And they went to Chelsea, they lost 2-0. And they were, again, all over the place. So easy to play against Spurs on that particular day. And the final one was Liverpool away, which I went to Anfield to watch the game. They were 4-0 down, and it could have been anything. Could have been 5-6. It could have gone. They ended up losing 4-2. But I spoke to a number of Liverpool players as well, and they didn't have a bias, but we all said how bad Spurs were at defending. They'd seen a team that just gave up chance after chance after chance. And this was Angie's Spurs. So I saw a manager, in my opinion, that didn't know how to defend, didn't particularly encourage working on set pieces. This high line, which was ridiculous at times. You can play high line against some teams, but not all of the time. It can be dangerous because teams will then say, don't anybody run from midfield. So if you get a midfield runner against the high line, it's impossible to do the high line and always get it right because people are making late runs. As long as the forwards are not offside, your midfielders are going to get in. And that was as simple a tactic as any I've seen.
So he should never have gotten the job in the first place?
Well, I think he didn't show what you have to do as being a manager. He's proved people wrong and adapt and change, make it harder for the opposition. If you see things wrong as a coach, you've got to be able to adjust to what the opposition were doing. It seems like the opposition were irrelevant for him.
And he kept saying it, I'm not going to change. So, people saying he needs time, he needs time.
Shebahn, you can't ignore the opposition. Okay, and he might say, well, I didn't do that. It's like saying trying to do an analogy of, it's like saying a boxer, the guy you're fighting is a big puncher, right? Try and knock him out. You can't beat a big puncher. If you're a technical fighter, you beat him by literally wearing him down, out, just by his movement. Usyk. If you're gonna go up against someone and say, no, I'm gonna throw punches at this team,
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to throw punches. And by the way, he did change slightly for a period. And I remember him winning at Brentford. And
even winning the trophy. I mean, he kind of...
Well, they played Man United in the final. And I mean, if you want to watch the game again, again, this is not just on Tottenham as a club, but Spurs were lucky to win the final.
Of course they were.
They were fortunate.
But he still won.
That still happens, but he won it. But I look at him as a coach and think, I don't think you learn much from him. Is that terrible to say that?
No.
Because I don't think I learned anything. All I learned is that he made a lot of mistakes.
The thing is, though, Cabby, we can be talking about this till 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of people loved him. A lot of people who have played for him loved him because he's a different kind of manager. He's got that kind of the moral stance. He calls out journalists for being disrespectful.
Yeah, okay.
But in terms of In terms of his job,
analysing football.
You're right. No, in terms of his job, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay, well, just I was going to add one thing in there, and it's just gone off the top of my head. I was going to ask you something. It's gone off the top of my head. So
listen, we're here till 9 o'clock. Yeah. It's all going to be a lot of Vans chat anyway. Forest fans, who do you want next? 03717 22
I know what it was now. I do. I've just remembered.
We'll do it next.
All right, we'll do it next. Go on.
morning. Welcome on to Sunday Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. If you're at home, stick on your smart TV. You'll see Tony Cascarino, former Republic of Ireland striker, alongside me, Shebahn Aherne. Some of your other headlines this morning: Leandro Trossard scored the only goal of the game as Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0 to move 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Red Bull's Max Verstappen beat McLaren's Lando Norris to pole position at the United States Grand Prix, with Championship leader Oscar Piastri down in 6th. And it was a thriller at Selhurst Park as Palace and Bournemouth played out an entertaining 3-3 draw. Here's how it all sounded with TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Palace 3, Bournemouth 3. We're into the 100th minute of the game. Eddie Nketiah squares the ball for Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's already got a hat-trick. He's no more than 7 yards out. There's nobody between him and the goalkeeper in the goal, and he has skied it over the top. What a game of football this has been this afternoon. Bournemouth led 2-0 at half-time. Junior Krupi, on his first appearance in terms of starting in the Premier League for Bournemouth, had scored the 2 goals. But Palace came out second half and were magnificent.
Yeah, what an absolutely excellent game. Tony Cascarino was there. Meant to ask you earlier on, after the news came out, Glasner had confirmed that Mark Guéhi is going to leave the club at the end of the season. What did you make of his performance? You don't expect any dip from him at all, or his approach?
No, I think he's been exceptional. Even, his behaviour in the summer. Look, sometimes he's doing what Sol Campbell did many moons ago, but Sol Campbell left to go to a rival club in Arsenal. But Mark Guéhi has been tremendous. I think his attitude and performance have been great since he's been there.
Sees Crystal Palace 8th in the table, Arsenal 3 points clear of Manchester City, 4 points clear of the champions at Liverpool. But let's get back to the big story this morning. Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Nottingham Forest after 8 winless games in charge of the club. His run ended 19 minutes after the full-time whistle at the City Ground yesterday, following the 3-0 defeat at home to Chelsea. So despite the shambolic nature of his time at the club, have Forest prevented possible disaster by changing their manager before it's too late? We can speak now to former Forest and Manchester United defender John Curtis, who's with us this morning. Very good morning, John. How are you doing?
Hi, John.
Morning, guys.
John, I was quite critical of Ange. I felt... I just
sitting on the fence this morning, is he?
I mean... Tell me this first, John. It was a question I was going to ask Shebahn about. Have you seen, even in the 8 games of Ange ball in any shape or form since he was at Forest?
No, not at all. And you were alluding to it. I think it's a totally different style. Like you said, the team was built. You think about last season, they defended deep. Hit teams on the counter. And like you were saying, Ange is a much more front foot, go and press from the front kind of player. It's a total shift. And I think, it's obvious it's going to take more than 39 days to be able to implement that properly.
It's always a difficult one because, as you know, John, we've all been under managers and some we like and some not so much. But it's, we buy into how they improve us as players. Now, I went back to Tottenham and the days of, ignoring set pieces, which is, to me, ludicrous to even suggest that that's even an idea, because data and information out there you have to use.
100%. And you said about football these days, it's always been the case, and I don't think it will ever change, Tony, that the set pieces are critical, and you have to be able to defend them and you have to be able to score from them. Like you said about Arsenal, Arsenal are, superb at doing that, and they did it again yesterday. So Ange kind of reminds me a little bit of Amorim, and I think maybe this is a more modern kind of managerial approach, that they seem very stuck in their ways and stubborn in saying, this is the way we're going to play this. I have no pragmatism at all. I'm going to do it this way, or it's the highway. And I think that can be problematic, as we've seen.
If anything, though, John, it got him to where he is. It got him to win trophies, playing the way that he wants to do it. But as we've spoken on many a times, it's a different beast in the Premier League and there's no time. Do you think that Marinakis was wrong to give Ange the job, and was he right to sack him yesterday?
I think looking back in hindsight, obviously that's a yes. It was who was available. Well, I think you go back to sacking the previous manager and think that must go down as a poor decision by the owner. If I have an employee who is doing a fantastic job and has just produced unbelievable results for my business, do I sack them because I have a falling out with them? Is that a little bit short-sighted? And then, like we just alluded to there about the styles being very different, I think that's the biggest issue. It is a total sea change from defending deep and hitting teams on the counter to being, front-footed and pressing. A total different animal, a total different style of player is needed. And I think it was just too short a period for Ange to be able to implement it.
Well, it was quite strange yesterday. Chris Wood came on, Hudson-Odoi, who obviously were pivotal players last season. Then there were transfers of players that had come into the club that weren't even in the squad yesterday.
Yeah, and I think Chris Wood was absolutely instrumental last year. He had a fantastic season, scored a lot of goals. I saw them towards the end of last season at Fulham. It's the last time I saw them, like we said, he was pivotal. They've changed the shape as well, Tony. They played more with a 4, shifting to a 3-5-2. Like Ange has done, and certainly like he played yesterday. Again, that's a big change. And there wasn't enough time. But again, you go back to yesterday, and they should have been 2-0 up, at least. Even at 2-0 down, if Nico Williams scores that goal, if the lad Jesus, when he gets his foot and hits the crossbar and then hits the post, it could have been very easily 2-2. And the goals change games. And had they scored those 2 chances in Gibbs White had a great chance. Chelsea were giving them the ball in their own half in the first half, and for them not to punish them, Ange has ultimately paid the price for that, because they need to be more clinical. I think that's the biggest problem with Forest. They don't score goals. Chris Wood's last season to completely rely on one player to score that many goals, I think, is a recipe for disaster. It can't happen. You have to have goals from multiple areas of the pitch, and they just don't have it. And that was striking yesterday.
What do you think then moving forward? Sean Dyche is Roberto Mancini. That's who we believe at TalkSport are in the frame. John, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I've heard about Marco Silva as well being an option. I think they would like somebody like Sean Dyche to come in, steady the ship, obviously keep them in the Premier League, because they're down there, aren't they? They're in the dogfight. So they definitely need a sea change. I think they definitely need somebody who is a little bit more pragmatic about the way that they play and altering things based on the opposition. Horses for courses, and looking to get results, because that's what they need now. They need to gather points. The good thing is, because the chairman has kind of acted so quickly, there is now plenty of time.
Yeah.
So, 9 games in, or 7 or 8 games in, aren't we? So, yeah. So we've got lots of time to be able to turn things around, because the squad is good. The squad is a proven Premier League squad, and they can get out of it. So there are some positives as a result of it.
Porto on Thursday as well. Just a thought there. I mean, will it be a coach who takes the team? Will they have somebody?
Well, temporary, I would imagine. But it's a difficult one, because there'll be managers who would think, well, I could go to Forest, but I could have the same fate as Ange pretty quickly, and your CV gets damaged very instantly.
It's a melting pot, isn't it?
But look, there's always managers who want jobs, want a chance.
And listen, he'll walk away wealthy. I know that's not everything. He's disappointed. He'll feel let down, but he's not losing his job like that. Everyone else loses their job. He's walked away going, okay, 39 days in charge. I could have still won a trophy. He didn't give me time, but he couldn't win games, at the end of the day. John, just very quickly, Anfield today. Any thoughts on how you think this is going to go for Manchester United, John?
Well, it's a big game for Liverpool. I think there's a lot of pressure on Liverpool. It's obviously at Anfield. They're on a bad run. They've had the blip that we knew was going to come under Slot at some point, and it's come now. So there's a lot of pressure on them. I think it gives United a chance to play free. Still a difficult task against the champions, though.
Yeah. John Curtis, former Forest and Man United defender, thank you for your time this morning.
Cheers, John. Bye-bye.
Good to speak to you. Coming up for you here on TalkSport today, the Sunday edition is here at 9 o'clock this morning. Sean Custis and Henry Winter with another great show before the warm-up with Max and Barry. They're in at 12 o'clock. 1:30, Game Day Live. Sam Matterface here as usual, bringing you all of the goals as they go in from the Premier League and beyond. We also have more live NFL for you on TalkSport 2. The Rams face the Jags. That's at Wembley from 2:30. Then 6:30, the final word here, taking your calls. Madge will be here, and all of the updates coming between Liverpool and Manchester United, and updates from the US Grand Prix with TalkSport. Tom Clayton.
Oscar Piastri appeared to have run away with the title, but poor form seen his championship lead cut significantly in the last few races. Much of the intrigue is coming from Max Verstappen. Can he reel in the McLarens and snatch what would be his most impressive world title to date? Lights out at 8 p.m. UK time for the USA Grand Prix in Austin, Texas.
We will be with you then, Tom. Thank you. And at 9 o'clock tonight, your evening is wrapped up with the great Danny Kelly on the Trans at Euro Express. Another great day coming up for you here on TalkSport. Download the TalkSport app, take us anywhere with you. You can watch us on your smart TV if you'd rather do that, or stream us on the YouTube channel. Coming up next on Weekday Breakfast, we're going to go to the top of the table. Hello, Arsenal. Morning. How's it going this morning? Welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. Your headlines today: Erling Haaland netted a brace against Everton in a 2-1 win, taking his tally to 11 Premier League goals this season. And Danny Welbeck secures Brighton a 2-1 win against Newcastle after opening the scoring in the first half and cancelling out a late equaliser from Nick Valdemata in the second. Here's the thoughts of TalkSport's Ollie Klink, who watched that one for us.
It's finished. Brighton 2, Newcastle 1. Danny Welbeck at the double to sink Newcastle, who are still yet to win on the road this season. Welbeck put the Seagulls in front just before the break. A dink finish over Nick Pope. Nick Valdemata got Newcastle level with an outrageous back heel with 15 minutes to go. But Welbeck had the final word. He curled home a lovely finish late on from the edge of the box to give Brighton all 3 points. They move up to 9th. It's their third league win of the season, but Newcastle's struggles on the road continue, and their stuttering start to the season continues.
TalkSport's Newcastle fan there, Ollie Klink, doing that through clenched teeth and tears running down.
Gritted teeth. Yeah. Do you think Danny Welbeck should change his name to Danny Wellgood?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Wellgood. He is Wellgood.
He's improved so much. Again, you know, I look at Danny and I think, you're a far more accomplished player. You know, as he's got more experience, he seems to be way more comfortable. Because, look, he plays a lot of time off the bench. He comes, you know, he's been sub a huge amount of times over the last year and a half, but rightly so. But he makes impact all the time.
All the time. I mean, he's 34. I think he's 35 next month. He gets 2 goals yesterday. Again, for the Seagulls, I mean, you've got to look at the England situation, the kind of lack of cover. Reliable cover you've got for Harry Kane at the moment, in terms of some injuries that you've got. But I mean, Danny Welbeck, should he be considered? I mean, what a great backup to have.
Well, you're certainly on what he's capable of. I think there's not much of a debate. If he was 21, everyone would be raving about getting him in the England squad, you know, because the fact he's 34 is out, it's too late and it changed. I mean, there's lots of internationals.
But is that not ageist? I mean, on form, he's doing this.
He's on form. Job. He's absolutely on form.
So why should the fact that then he's 34 make?
I mean, he's not as reliable with his. If you take these numbers last year, Shebahn, I think he got 10 Premier League goals, 11 in total, and he's got 4 this year in the Premier League, which isn't bad. But he does go through droughts in games. But Danny's a player that also contributes in many other ways. He's not just looking at his goal record. His goal record is not super impressive. It's decent, but he's still a very good team player. I've never heard anybody say from whatever club he's been at, he's a negative in the dressing room, and his approach, his professionalism. He's just been a great senior pro at Brighton. I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton go again next year and say we'll give you another year, because Danny is still very capable. Look, Giroud did it with France when he was 36, 37, 38. Now, France is a leading nation. I played at 35, 36. John Aldridge played for Ireland at 36, 30, 35 for Ireland. You know, there are strikers. OK, we didn't have the depth of England, but France have done it. You've seen Poland do it with Lewandowski. You know, OK, he was a supreme player. But I still think there's a place you could go. If someone you needed to add, I wouldn't have any problem in calling up Danny Welbeck.
I mean, Tuchel's all about culture, isn't he, and having the right characters and the right people around. He ticks all of those boxes. You know, he's an excellent traveller as well. With age comes experience. You've got to look at Ollie Watkins' stats so far this season. Danny Welbeck deserves to be there. Liam Delap still injured.
Yeah, I know. You have to be careful, though, Shebahn, of doing short term. If you look just at this season.
But we've got an international break next month, right? So should he be called up?
Well, I wouldn't have a problem if he did. That's for sure. And I would say that Ollie Watkins has done a hell of a lot for Villa in the last few years. That's made him number 2. But there is a big gap between number 1 and number 2, isn't there?
Big gap.
Harry Kane is so ahead of everybody, and he's been ahead of everybody for 10 years.
Gives them something to really think about. Food for thought for Thomas Tuchel, that's for sure. Let's talk about the Arsenal game yesterday. Went to Craven Cottage. They won 1-0. Not the prettiest of performance. Was it? Arsenal fan Harry Semiu is with us now. Arsenal just not great to watch, Harry. Sorry, I know that's going to annoy you at 6:54 this morning.
You're going to have to suffer this now as Arsenal fans, Harry. There's this criticism.
He doesn't care. He's like, I'm top of the league. Shut up.
You're not pretty to watch.
Do you know what? Who cares? I wouldn't be up at 6:54 in the morning had Arsenal not got the result. So ultimately, that's all that matters. Look, people can say whatever they like about the performance and the style of play. Mikel Arteta has chosen to build a defensive machine, and that team is going to get through games even when they don't play particularly well. Guess why? Because they only need one goal. And it was another set piece. And obviously, you know, there's a lot made of that. Set piece FC is what we've been labelled, and our own fans sing it because we're embracing it and we're enjoying it. As long as your team are winning, you don't really mind too much about the performance. But what I will say is, and Cass, you'll know this really well, having played international football, I always worry about the game after an international break. You got loads of players flying off to all different corners of the earth, playing under different coaches, under different instruction. You bring them all back together. You don't know how fit everybody is. You don't know who's carrying a knock. And I just think that first game after the international break is one you just got to get through. And if you look at Arsenal's record at Fulham over the past couple of seasons, they haven't won there in the past 2 years. So it's another result, just like the West Ham one last time out and the one at Newcastle the week before that. These are games that Arsenal dropped points in last season that they are now finding a way to win. And that's the biggest encouragement I guess I can take from it.
Yeah, Harry, look, after the international break and players come back together on share planes, even, you know, with different clubs, and it's do a job. The weekend is we need to do a job. It's not about shining and playing brilliant football this weekend. It's about doing a number on Fulham to get a result, and then there'll be days when you will shine. Because Arsenal have got a very capable team. And when there will be opportunities to show how good they can be and beat someone 4-1, 5-0, they'll do that, Arsenal. But this weekend was about getting a result of Fulham, who never really overcommit either. You know, they're not a side that give you too much. You know, they're never that adventurous, are they? So I thought it was a typical 1-0 to the Arsenal, and you just move on from this game.
Yeah, and it's the second game in a row that Arsenal haven't conceded a shot on target. So, you know, we can talk about sort of maybe them needing to do a little bit more in the final third. And I'd agree with that. I thought there were some encouraging signs. I know he didn't score yesterday, but Victor Gyökeres kind of really put himself about again and had a couple of decent efforts at goal. Bernd Leno made a number of saves for Fulham yesterday. So it wasn't a game in which Arsenal completely failed to threaten. But at the other end, they are so solid, just so solid. Like, they're not even conceding shots on target for you to be worried. I mean, David Raya doesn't make a single save yesterday away at Fulham. And Cass is absolutely right. They're not a side, Fulham, that will overcommit. You expected Marco Silva's team to be rigid and to look to hit you on the counter-attack. That's exactly what we got. But when you're that effective, as Arsenal are at the back, and you don't allow them to even win 1v1 duels or anything like that, it just makes the world of difference. So it wasn't pretty, but it was effective, and ultimately that's what matters.
I was hoping you were really going to bite my head off and be like,
anyone else, Shebahn, I might, but not you. Anyone.
Harry, good to have you with us this morning. I know you've got a little baby at home as well, so you're probably up and about anyway at this time, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All the best, Harry Semiu there. Arsenal top of the table. Not the prettiest performance, but is it the mark of a champion side moving forward, that they'll win games regardless?
They're a good side, and I said very start they were my favourites to win the league.
Same, I said it as well.
Yeah, and I don't see any different now. We'll see a lot more again today with Liverpool playing Man Utd. So.
Absolutely, we will indeed. We're going to begin our preview of today's Premier League action coming up very soon, and we're also going to take your calls on Nottingham Forest. Were they right to sack Ange yesterday? 03717 22 3344 is the number.
after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Can you read this for me? I might butcher it.
No, I'll let you butcher it.
We will see how it goes. We've got lots on the agenda for you here today at TalkSport. The main story, Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Forest after just 8 matches in charge. Forest captain Ryan Yates spoke to TalkSport and said the players need to look at themselves.
I think it was a collective effort, to be honest. From the players, everybody has to take responsibility. I think it'd be unfair to pin on anybody, and I think we have to look at ourselves in the mirror firstly and dust ourselves down and go again, because things in football can change really quickly, and that's what we're going to be thinking about.
So what next for Nottingham Forest? 03717 223344 is the number we're taking your calls at next. Meanwhile, coming up today, Spurs take on Villa and Liverpool face Manchester United. Arne Slot praised the Liverpool fans and says he needs them now more than ever at Anfield today.
I think our fans have been so supportive for us, and I think they understand that the team that has lost three times in a row, they need to be ready, our team. But I think our fans can help us and will help us on Sunday.
Well, Ruben Amorim says that on their day, his side can beat anyone.
We can win any game, so
if we think about just winning the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game.
Updates on that massive game from 4:30 live for you on Game Day Live here on TalkSport. We always have you covered. That number again, 03717 223344. What next for Forest? What next for Ange Postecoglou? You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. So we believe at TalkSport that Sean Dyche, Roberto Mancini and Marco Silva are the names who are in line to replace Ange Postecoglou. Anybody there instantly grabbing you, Cass?
I don't see Marco Silva leaving Fulham. Sean Dyche is an interesting one because obviously Sean's been out of work and has been a very successful manager, as in the jobs he's taken on, how long he survived in football with, not jobs that are going to give you an opportunity of winning things. Obviously, Burnley, he done amazing there, keeping them in the Premier League for a number of seasons. Went to Everton, and Everton was a tough job, and he'd be the first to admit it. It would have been a roller coaster, ups and downs. It's a tough one. The owner just confuses me. I never quite know what he's thinking. I don't think anybody does, even probably people very close to him. All they know is that on a whim, he could make a call.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard reports about it. We've seen how kind of reactionary he's been over the last season. Anyway, but that yesterday, to do it in that fashion,
it's pretty brutal.
It's so brutal. Yeah. It's degrading of Ange Postecoglou, I think. Say goodbyes, get your bag, off you go. I mean, that was what they did.
Yeah.
Get your bag and go.
Literally, when you saw the empty seats of where he sat, obviously he was like, well, he's going in the boardroom and he's talking to somebody and he's already made a call of this is not going to continue anymore. Because when an owner leaves to stop watching the game, he's going to have a meeting, isn't he? He's not going to. He's going to watch the game from inside his office. No, he's talking to someone.
Absolutely. And the thing about Marinakis, he makes it so public as well. He's so public with his display towards his managers. We saw that with Nuno. There's been a number of things, but to do it that way, I felt for Ange. I don't think he was right for the job.
I think an owner should sit there and watch the rest of the game. You got plenty of time after the game. If you're going to make that decision, you still watch the end of the game. You go in and you talk to certain people, and if you feel you need to change, you can do it. That's your right. But to leave like he did, and then within minutes, how long was it? 28, 30 minutes before it was announced.
Yeah, sad for Ange that way, but was it the right decision? 03717 223344. Good morning to Darren, the Spurs fan. Darren, how do you feel about the treatment of Ange?
I think he's got himself to blame. He self-sabotages himself. I don't believe he's a bad manager. I believe his lack of adaptability is what hurts him because, for example, when Tottenham played Chelsea and we were 2 men down, he still was playing all-out attack. You can't play like that.
No. Well, Darren, you said there that he's not a bad manager. Well, if you look at his numbers and the amount of losses, statistically, he was a bad manager in the Premier League.
I agree with you in that point because he lost over 20 games at Spurs from winning positions. And that, to me, he comes across as someone like he's playing football manager, not actually managing in the Premier League. And I think that's his problem. And I think it's all right when you're in a league when you've got maybe one challenger like in Scotland.
Yeah.
And you've got 2 powerhouses in Scotland when they're at their best. You stand more of a chance. This is the Premier League. You have every club can beat every club every time.
Yeah. Darren, I was going to add, you've got Thomas Frank in, and quite clearly you can see with Thomas that he's very adaptable and very cute around the opposition of how to handle how teams play against Spurs.
I totally agree. And you see, that's the difference. When you compare, if you look at all the managers that are inflexible, they're all doing bad. The managers that adapt, they all do well. And it's stubbornness that you have to be able to spend billion to actually play one way. You have to adapt, or you're going to suffer.
Yeah, and he has. That's the way it goes. 03717 223344. You can let us know your thoughts this morning. Darren, Spurs fan, thank you very much for that. Let's talk about Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today. They host Aston Villa. Villa have won their last 4 in all competitions, head into the game in good form, while Spurs could go second with victory this afternoon. So to discuss the game and discuss the controversial decision from the Safety Advisory Group not to allow Maccabi Tel Aviv fans to travel to Villa Park for their game on the 6th of November, a decision which has been widely contested, hasn't it? We can speak to Athletics Villa correspondent Jacob Transwell. Good morning, Jacob. How are you?
Hi, Jacob.
Good morning, guys. Hi, you guys.
Good to have you with us, Jacob. Can we start there, actually, with the latest in these Maccabi fans? Do you think that's going to be overturned?
So there's a decision, or there's further discussions early next week. Lisa Nandy is part of it, obviously with the relevant parties locally. The West Midlands Police, we obviously broke the story that they had requested that no Maccabi Tel Aviv fans had come in, and this has been discussions that had been ongoing for weeks, right? And they've taken into account the previous history of Maccabi Tel Aviv fans in Amsterdam in November 2024, as well as other concerns. So their opinion and their viewpoint is that it's not safe for Maccabi Tel Aviv fans to attend the game. The government, of course, are looking from a different point of view, and they're going to try and push next week. So we should learn more either Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday.
So, Jacob, it was a police decision, wasn't it? That they were obviously felt that it was more to do with a hooligan problem than anything political.
It was a contribution and multiple factors, really. Obviously, and they referred to it in their statement, the Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax game, but also the fact that in Birmingham, since the start of the conflict, there's been a lot of pro-Palestinian demonstrations. According to a 2021 census, 30% of Birmingham's population is Muslim as well. And there were concerns that, especially in the surrounding areas and outside the ground, that there would be trouble on the night. And I think one of the reasons why they've wanted no Maccabi Tel Aviv fans to be there is because they just wanted to stop or minimise the risk of there being conflict outside the ground as well.
Yeah. Let's focus on the game today as well. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, Villa have won their last 4 games in all competitions. Really starting to turn a corner now under Unai Emery.
I think it was certainly encouraging. It was certainly big for them to go on that run of form. But these are games that you expect Aston Villa, especially under Unai Emery in previous years, to win, right? They played Burnley and Fulham at home, 2 favourable home games. And then they had 2 Europa League games, which we saw with Postecoglou last season. They can act as a salvation, right? So the next 3 league games in particular, Tottenham, Manchester City at home, Liverpool as well, these will be the true tests of an Unai Emery team.
This season, I mean, look, things have changed slightly in recent weeks. I feel like John McGinn's got back to his best, which I think is a fair comment, because John McGinn's a really good leader for you and he makes things happen. I think sometimes he gets isolated when he's a bit too wide.
Yes, definitely. I think John McGinn's, this is one of the reasons why he's close to signing a new contract. He had interest in the summer. Everton had put a bid in for him back in July. The reason why McGinn is so important is because he leads, for example, he might not be the one like a Tyrone Mings who you can hear so loud on the pitch, but it's the standards he drives in the dressing room, the standards he drives on the pitch. And you see this season when Villa have been finding it difficult to score, he's been the one that's been popping up with goals, and he's actually been playing a bit deeper this season because of injuries. He's been playing in a number 6 role, and in that role, he might not be his favourite, but he's able to influence the game a little bit more, like you say.
Jacob, thank you so much. The Athletics Villa correspondent Jacob Tanswell with us this morning. Good luck for the game today, Jacob. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we'll get into this morning's back pages.
nice warm bed. You just remember what your old past said, or you got a friend in me.
Good morning, welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic and Red Star striker Tony Cascarino. That's a wee tune, isn't it, on a Sunday morning?
Yeah, it's good.
You know when Alan Brazil's on breakfast and DJ Ed's on the decks?
Yeah.
And then Alan will be like, come on, man, liven it up with some tunes. And then he'll play like 3 minutes of a song. I feel like I'm in that mode today, you know, that way I'm just like, just play the music, Ed, play the music. Why are we playing it though?
Go on, I don't know.
Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
There's a weird thing going around online at the moment. AI.
Right.
Freaking me out as usual. But I don't know if you've seen this yet, Cass. You have been turned into an action figure.
Oh, me?
You have.
Oh, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't seen it.
Turn on your smart
Enlighten
TV.
me.
Get the YouTube channel going on TalkSport because this is Tony Cascarino as an action figure. Look at you. Christmas is sorted for the wife. She can buy herself one of these. That's weird.
Oh, that feels a bit eerie looking at myself like that.
But it's look at you in the box and everything all packaged up and ready to go.
Literally.
It's trending on social media. You can make yourself an action figure now. There's one of me as well. I don't look like an action figure. I look like I don't know.
Oh, in a dress.
Oh, I liked your response.
Yeah.
Oh,
you look 1,000 times better than I did in my blue.
Your legs did look a bit funny in your one.
Oh, thanks. I thought my legs were good. I used to say
that was your strong point.
I used to have a lot of compliments on me.
Bloody AI. What's it like? Loads of people turning themselves into action figures on AI this morning. It's trending on social media. But there you go. I could buy one of those, Cass, and just use as a wee paperweight on my desk. Did you collect any action figures growing up?
No.
Favourite toys that you collected growing up?
Cars. I like the little cars. Or, you just get the miniature cars and all the sports ones. I used to get them. I remember having the MG. I used to have my favourite one was the green MG.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know my wee boy? He loved cars. And anywhere you would go in the house, you'd be putting on a washing, there'd be a car in the washing machine. You'd be going to look out Luro, there'd be a car up there. You'd be getting out his clothes, there'd be a car in there. There was just cars everywhere. It's quite sweet, actually, when you think about memories like that.
Cars are such an important part of the history, aren't they? I've got pals who are obsessed with cars, and I've never been like that. I always see it really as a bit of a, it's nice to have a nice car to get you to A to B, but not much more than that. I've had pals that have gone crazy, spent loads of money on cars, and they admit they're wasted.
Footballer pals?
Yeah, a good few of them. Well, in football, of course, it's like some clubs, especially as the latter years to my career, you'd be at, and players after nearly a year think, "Are you going to change that car again?
Yeah.
Surely, how long are you going to keep it for?" Meaning like most of us keep cars for 2 or 3 years, plus, and longer.
What was your first car?
An Allegro. Do you remember an Allegro?
What colour? I'll judge you.
Oh, it was sort of a burgundy colour.
Oh, not burgundy.
Yeah, Ron Burgundy. Yeah, it was a funny looking thing.
Okay.
A bit like myself.
Suits the driver, that's for sure.
Allegro.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, they were happening though back in the day.
Yeah.
They were the happening cars.
My first nice car was an XR3 Escort with the injection. Do you remember because there was all the Golf injections, the XR3i and... Yeah, I had one of them. That was nice. I had it a week and then I had an accident. And literally,
oh no!
That was gone.
In a week?
In a week.
You wrote it off
in a place called Nottingham near Chislehurst, which is in the south side of London. And I went to turn right and I hit the car coming on.
Yeah.
So I was okay.
Luckily, yeah. Do you know, I love cars, but they're such a lot of money and they just break.
And most of them devalue, apart from the classics. A lot of them devalue very quickly.
Yeah, exactly that. That's the conversation I had with Jamie all the time. I'm like, why have you done this? Done this with another car. Right, back pages today, all about Ange Postecoglou. Gone in 39 days is the headline in the Sunday Telegraph. The Sun Sport is going, Ange denied second season, sacked after 39 days, and it's not winter yet. Mancini is a shock rival to Deitch as next gaffer. That's the reports this morning. It's over for Ange. The pictures of him in his car leaving the city ground after the game yesterday. What have you got for us in this?
Well, there's an interesting one in the Telegraph Sport, and it's It's all about Amorim will go route one to expose Liverpool's flaws. Now, Liverpool do have flaws, and it is the long ball and it's the ball behind. Now, Liverpool have conceded. They've only kept 2 clean sheets so far this season. It was Arsenal at home 1-0 and Burnley away 1-0.
Right.
And they concede goals. And trying to get behind, because Liverpool try and get their fullbacks quite high, there's always space to exploit. So it's basically saying that this is the way. And I think if you remember last season, that United nearly caught Liverpool out when Maguire had a great chance in the game to put United in front, which I think eventually finished 3-2 to Liverpool. But it was a way of exposing Liverpool's high line with 2 centre-halves. Konate is not playing well. He's getting caught behind all the time when I watch him. And it's the long ball. Palace did it to Liverpool. Bournemouth did it to Liverpool in the opening game of the season. Got behind Liverpool a lot. And it's that quick, long, direct ball.
Yeah. And also then to not have Alisson in a game like this, to be missing him. You talk about conceding goals. They're a little bit more fragile without him too.
Well, he's a top keeper. Yeah, so you obviously lose him. But if you look at Raya last night of Arsenal, he's literally doing nothing in the game. He doesn't have to, because the defence are so good and tight that it makes his job easy. But Liverpool's goalkeeping job, Alisson has probably been Liverpool's best player so far this season. The amount he's saved. So if you take away how important he's been, because they'd have conceded a lot more without some of the saves that Alisson has made. Because he's done it quite often already.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on Mamardashvili for the game today against Manchester United. Who do you think's going to win? I mean, have you changed approach to this?
No, I'd like to think that Liverpool will bounce back from their 3 defeats, and it's having United in town. That you've got to have a top performance. The Kop will be demanding that. The manager Arne Slot, he knows that his team's got flaws, especially defensively, and he's trying to adjust to that. I do think Liverpool will take it, but I cannot see a 0-0.
Yeah.
I know people will say, they'll talk about, there has to be goals. I just can't see it, because the way United play and the way Liverpool play, I think United will try and counter very quickly on them with Cunha, with Mbeumo, trying to get in positions of danger. And Sesko has got a battle, whether it's Konate and Van Dijk, he's got to lead the line and do really well for them to get higher up the pitch.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim said in his press conference, on their day, his team can beat anyone. They have to have their day.
They're a better team than I think what we've seen in reflection of the points they had.
Yeah.
They are better than that. I think we've seen in recent weeks that they are capable of putting a performance in. I thought against Sunderland, okay, people might go, it's Sunderland. Well, Sunderland are doing pretty all right this year.
Yeah.
So it's not just it's Sunderland, but I thought they gave them a really difficult game.
I completely agree with that. But the first half as well, Man United were brilliant against Sunderland. Is a really, really good performance. Let's hope that can continue. All the updates coming for you on Game Day Live here on TalkSport this afternoon. It's a 4:30 kickoff. All of the back pages focused on Ange Postecoglou. He's been sacked from Nottingham Forest after 39 days in charge. We'll continue our chat and the fallout with that. And coming up next on Weekend Breakfast here in the studio, we're going to be joined by our Artist of the Week. Some music on the way next from Manchester United fan Liam C. Good morning.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines this Sunday morning. Leandro Trossard scored the only goal of the game as Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0 to move 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League. In other news, Red Bull's Max Verstappen beat McLaren's Lando Norris to pole position at the United States Grand Prix, with championship leader Oscar Piastri down in 6th. And Sunderland picked up a crucial win in the Prem yesterday. 2-0 they beat a beleaguered Wolves. Here's Graham Courtney, who was at the game for us.
It's Sunderland 2, Wolves 0, but this is almost certainly going to go down as a Wolves' own goal. And Eliza Mayenda, he's the one that's been causing all the problems since he came on. He's trying to get a shot away. I think that has taken a deflection. I'll be able to check very, very shortly if I can see some sort of replay. And it is an own goal, and it is Ladislav Krejci who has put the ball in the back of his net. He's trying to clear the ball away. He's at full stretch, but he has put the ball in the back of his own net. It's going to be 3 points. Stay here on Wearside. Sunderland are moving up to 7th place. Wolves at the moment, well, completely devoid of ideas. They need to really, really find something over the next few weeks. Otherwise, the season's going to well and truly get away from them. Sunderland 2, Wolves 0.
Yeah, absolute strugs for Wolves. Rock bottom of the Premier League. Sunderland up in 7th. Cash, you mentioned it there, how surprising they've been this season. They've already passed Southampton's points total from last season.
Yeah.
They stay up, right?
Well, considering the way they won the playoff final, and, you know, they come in via the back door, I thought they was fortunate against Coventry, and yet they've improved enormously in the summer, spent good money. Most of their transfers seem to be working. So fair play to everybody involved at Sunderland.
Absolutely. I mean, their manager, Regis Lebris, I mean, the last team he was at in France were relegated. You know, to get Sunderland up and to be doing this job in the Premier League, he's got a great group of lads there. What about Wolves, though? I'm
surprised. Just so surprised that Wolves have been this poor. You know, I know they've lost players, but from there, you know, you'd still expect. I thought Pereira's team were really good last year at times. surprised what I'm watching this year.
Yeah, Burnley next Sunday for Wales. That's going to be a huge game for them. They have to pick up points there. By the way, tomorrow night's commentary, Monday Night Football for you here on TalkSport. It's West Ham taking on Brentford at the London Stadium. 19th versus 16th. All of the build-up from 7. And, of course, kick-off from 8 here on TalkSport. And it's time now for this.
I missed the train again, I'm late, so now I'm running in the cold. I got creases in my shirt and I forgot to charge my phone last night. Spent my rent, now I'm broke, and I'm up against the road. No more cigarettes to smoke. Met this girl for 20 minutes, then I told her I proposed. And I took her back to my place and we took off all our clothes. And she says I love you when I said I don't. And I give her a couple digits, I ain't talking about her.
Oh, here, that's catchy.
Come on.
That is catchy.
Of course. It's a
Liam
MC record.
C. This is Bang Bang. Liam is with us now in the studio. Hello.
Hello, lovely to meet you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good, thanks. You're from Essex. You came in and I was like, yeah, Essex vibes.
Yeah, Colchester, Essex.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good to have you here. I mean, you're a Manchester United fan, firstly.
Indeed. I am. Big day for us.
Big day. Yep.
Big day for us. Hope we get the win today. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I think we've got a good chance, though. I'm confident.
I'm confident. He's telling me I'm miles off it.
No. I think we're going to get it. What are your score predictions for the game today?
2-1.
Yeah?
I'll go 2-1.
What, United?
Yeah.
Yeah? Come on, I like that.
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
There we go. We've just been humbled.
1-0 United. 1-0 United. I'm going 1-0 United.
So let's talk about you and music, because that's really fast tune.
Yes.
What influences? Because I feel a little bit of sort of punky come...
Yeah, a little bit.
Also the Brit stuff in the early 90s as well, style?
Yeah, a little bit. I think for me, music was kind of an accident falling into it, do you know what I mean? So my music just represents like nights out with my mates, having a good time. I'm writing songs just for my people, really. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about kind of, the UK scene. Like I've taken a lot of influence from Jamie T, Plan B, Ed Sheeran, obviously a massive influence of mine. And obviously little touches of like maybe Blur and a little bit of Oasis and all that kind of stuff I like to try and drop in there sometimes.
Brilliant. Would you like to play in front of a football crowd, or would that be...
I'd absolutely love to get in front of a football crowd. 100%. They give it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, one of your songs, I'm sure, could be a sort of an anthem tune, couldn't it?
100%. What, Bang Bang, the one we just played there? 100%. That's the dream. I want to get that out there. I want to get that singing in the terraces, you know?
And how's everything going in terms of the single? Like, are you getting a lot of traction?
It's going really, really well. For the last like kind of 3 years, I moved out when I was 16 and I started kind of travelling around with my rucksack, and I left my mum and my sister very young and come to London, and it's just kind of been ducking and diving for the last couple of years, doing everything I can, follower by follower, fan by fan, grafting, real.
Well, I saw on that crib sheet here we've got, it says you were busking on the streets, and also you were shutting down Glastonbury.
Shutting down Glastonbury. Kind of going to Glastonbury, trying to get into the places I shouldn't be, like where all the celebrities are and all the people are rubbing shoulders, and just trying to kind of get my music out there. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm a working class kid.
Yeah.
And I think I've got to break open doors, like knock doors down.
Tell us about busking, because obviously it happens a lot on the tubes and people...
I used to busk in a different kind of way. So you know how you'd see buskers sat at the side of the street with their guitar case and playing songs. For me, I ended up in Soho in the West End, and I was kind of walking around playing my tunes, and it was like I'd approach people with my ukulele, groups of 10, 20 people. I'd be like, "Hi there, my name's Liam C. I'm a singer-songwriter. If I play you a song and you enjoy it, will you follow me or give me a donation?"
That's good.
So obviously I'll be going up to all the geezers with Wonga and that outside the Groucho Club and playing my tunes to them. And obviously, in that part of London, you're making more money, and then obviously people would get the kind of the triple threat. They'd get the song, they'd get the personality, and then they get it all.
Oh, listen, you've got a hustle. You're doing that just well. Keep going. You're going to play a different song for us today. What's the name of this one?
Yeah, it's called Dollar Dollar. This is the one that really got everything moving. It's about the cost of living crisis right now is killing the country. And this is kind of just about doing what you can with what you got. It's a song for the underdogs and the grafters.
Well, get yourself ready to go.
Hear it?
Yeah,
what do you call that when I come in? A little guitar?
A little guitar. It's ukulele. This is Liam C.
Is that feeding all right?
Yeah, it sounds good to us. It's Dollar Dollar.
Fire away.
Here we go.
Get in there.
No, I ain't even lying. I'm just out here trying. And if you hear me holler, it's all about the dollar, a dollar, yeah. Surviving is ducking and a diving. I ain't being funny. It's all about the money. I'll be like, dollar, 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 dollar. I'm in debt cause I borrow. Money that I can't pay back, that I ain't paid back cause I ain't made back a penny of it. Walk around like I got plenty of it. Even though I ain't got any of it, broke as broke can be. I don't owe you, you don't know me. Like, take the and I want one of money as long as an NHS waiting list. I don't feed cause I'm above the law. Right now I'm as poor as my credit rating is. I'm like, listen, nah, I ain't even lying. I'm just out here trying. And if you hear me holler, it's all about the dollar, yeah. Surviving is ducking and a diving. It's all funny. It's all about the money. I'll be like, I want the money, I want the moolah, I want the yellow fin, not the tin tuna. Self-checkout, I don't know how to use a computer. 5 finger, discount it. Just call me the 5 finger discount kid. Ways to save money till I make money. Get it and spend it. I don't save money. It comes and it goes, I ain't sweating it. Spending it all for the hell of it. Where it all goes is irrelevant. Listen, nah, I ain't even lying. Trying, so if you hear me holler, it's all about a dollar, yeah. Surviving, it's ducking and a diving. Nah, I ain't being funny. It's all about the money, yeah. It's all about the money, yeah.
Wow.
What was that like? Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that. That is very entertaining. It's actually kind of like humorous as well.
Yeah?
Got a bit of humour in there.
100%. About ducking and diving and doing what you can. Do you know what I mean?
You remind me of an Ireland player. I can't remember his name. It was when he first came into a squad and we nicknamed him Snow because he settled so quickly.
Right, brilliant. I'll take that.
Meaning not being shy, but you haven't, you've got a lot of confidence about you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I think, listen, I've been told no. I've been told, like, that's rubbish, that's not good, 100 times. It doesn't faze me, do you know what I mean?
No.
Come in, give it what I've got. If you like it, you like it. If not, then do one. Do you know? At the end of the day, that's kind of my whole vibe, That's what you got to do,
You'll be on TalkSport doing a show.
Yeah, I know.
One day.
Yeah,
one day. I'm doing all right then. I won't be getting the bus here when I'm doing that.
No, you will.
So, on a personal question, have you decided now, are you earning $1? Because obviously you're going from busking and...
Yeah, good question.
I've signed a distribution deal with Warner's, but again, like, no, not really. Like, it's all the money that I've made from my deal has gone straight into the music. Do you know what I mean? So I think... I think a lot of people mess up because they kind of get given an inch, they take a mile, they spend all what they've got. Whereas for me, I'm playing the long game, and I'm basically... Yeah, all the money's going into the tunes. I'm busking for my food at the moment, and hopefully the songs will blow up, and I'll make loads of dollar. We'll be doing all right.
Good for you, Liam C. Thank you so much for being in the studio with us. You've got a new song coming out on the 28th of this month.
Yeah, it's called Tina. It's an absolute banger.
Is that? I take it. Just a friend.
I don't say so myself.
Tina was a friend.
No, it's Tina. It's all about being in the pub and just having a good time,
Lovely. Liam C., thank you so much for coming in with us.
Thank you so much. You know what? This was my very first proper radio thing, and I was really nervous. You guys have made it really easy for me, so thank you so much.
You've made it easy for us.
It was great, Gav.
Really good. Well done.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It
takes bottles to sit down and sing live on the radio, so fair play to you. I'm going to give it a go next. I'm just joking. No one wants that. Liam C., good luck for everything to come. Thank you for joining us here on TalkSport. Coming up for you now, if you want to win £100,000, who doesn't? Then listen up. This is our biggest cash prize yet. You can enter, and we're going all out. £100,000 completely tax-free could be yours. You could win the chance to come to TalkSport Towers on the 13th of November for a chance to win a huge cash prize. Listen up. Here's how you can get involved.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSport Limited promotion run on TalkSport, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. It's Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino, who just delivered one of the best compliments of all time on the radio there to Liam Sear, Artist of the Week. He went, "You remind me of a guy who used to play for Ireland. I can't remember his name."
No.
It's
And I've
like,
got it now.
oh.
I've had to Google him because I'll tell you a quick story on this lad. He was called Paul Byrne. He played for Celtic and he played for Southend in England. And he was in the under-21s and I was in the senior squad. And I was playing for Celtic, but I was in the senior squad.
Yeah.
And sometimes you mix with the under-21s. They come around as you're travelling. They'd be around on the odd occasion. And he was incredibly, not shy at all on any level. So he sits with a group, and of course I'm surrounded with some experienced pros, the Liverpool boys, Aldridge, Ronnie Whelan and others, with Ireland. He sits down and he goes, "You all right, Tony?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm okay. He went, "It's not going well at Celtic, is it?" But it's an under-21, and the lads are laughing.
Just
Just straight out the back. He went, "It's not going too well at Celtic, is it?"
No filter.
I know, but he's asked me if I'm all right. And of course, Ronnie Whelan, I think, took Paul Byrne to Southend because Paul had a reputation of literally being a bit off the wall. And I mean, I heard he had a few issues in his latter years. I mean, he'd be in his 50s now, Paul. But unbelievable. That's what, like the nickname Snow. He settled so quickly when he joins the group. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Paul Byrne was hilarious.
Straight talker.
And the lad here reminded me of him because he immediately came in, didn't he? He was larger than life character and just, whatever you thought of his music, he was right out there, wasn't
Absolutely. You were there to know about it. By the way, turn on your smart TV if you've got one or watch us on the YouTube channel, because that was like a little private gig there for Tony Cascarino, who's like singing whilst looking at Tony like right in the eyes, and Tony's smiling. It was
I was laughing. He just kept reminding me of that island player, the way he was talking to me off air,
Love it.
But funny.
Yeah, very good. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. Sunderland defeated Wolves 2-0 to condemn Vitor Pereira's side to a 6 defeat from 8 matches, and Burnley picked up a vital 2-0 win over Leeds at Turf Moor yesterday. Burnley boss Scott Parker was delighted with his side's performance.
A brilliant performance from us. I thought we showed every aspect of what's needed in a Premier League football match, to be fair. I thought we showed a real resilience about us, an incredible mentality. We then also showed our quality in our moments, and certainly the 2 goals probably emphasised that really in terms of the quality of delivery from Kyle Walker, the execution of the finish, and then Loom's finish as well, which was exceptional really. And then the back end of the game when you need to go to places that no coach, there's no structure, and anyone standing in front of you telling you that's the case is wrong. The last 15 minutes of that game, when you just, as a human being, you just need to go to places and cover space and just have a desire and an effort about you. We did that immensely well, and a real resilience about us really. So we was well worthy of that, and delighted with the result.
Fair play to them. Massive result that for Burnley yesterday. I mean, it would have been a big 3 points for either side, but for Burnley to get it takes them up to 17th in the table.
Phenomenal. And there was a few incidents. I mean, he said Loom is the player that I think he's French. He's come from Lazio. Spent about 13 million on him. What a strike. Unbelievable strike. There was one unbelievable moment in the game as well. A reminder of when someone was great. Kyle Walker in a position, gets on the right wing for their first goal, and it just shows the explosive pace that we all got used to with Cole Walker. He's unbelievable turn of foot when he needed it to put his foot down on the pedal. Cole Walker does that for the first goal, whips in an unbelievable ball. Just a great goal, and it reminds you of how good Cole Walker can be. And fair play, I said to you yesterday, Scotty Parker, if he keeps Burnley up, he's done an amazing job, because they're really up against it with, yes, they can spend money, but just attracting players to Burnley and the salary that they obviously have to offer. And they're going to have to get their recruitment absolutely spot on to have a chance of staying up.
Absolutely. More on the website on yesterday's results at talksport.com. Let's go back now to our top story. Ange Postecoglou sacked by Nottingham Forest after just 8 games in charge. Our TalkSport Forest fan Max Scott says bringing Ange in was the wrong decision.
I wasn't the only person to point out the glaringly obvious issue of bringing in Ange Postecoglou, whose style of football was diametrically opposed to Nuno's. And this isn't me. I'm not berating the club for dismissing Nuno. I think Nuno made his bed and he's lying in it. And he's lying in it at a great club at West Ham that's ran incredibly poorly and look like they're going absolutely nowhere. So I've absolutely no sympathy for Nuno and no concerns about his dismissal. But you look at the appointment of Ange and you have to ask questions about the decision-making process.
I remember Max's hesitation when the news was announced, kind of thing, because we'd seen in the Premier League with Spurs that it was a real problem for him, to adapt, to win games. It just wasn't. It wasn't a wise appointment.
No, and if you did data on Ange at Spurs, the flaws were quite obvious. I touched on a good few earlier. Of playing that high line. Prepared to take ultimate risks, having a huge injury list, not being good at set pieces, not wanting to be more attentive to handling set pieces or be good at them yourself. There were a number of issues at Spurs. And, that's without the loss of games, the goals conceded. There were a lot of things I haven't even touched on. I still think Ange was the one, and I might be wrong, that brought in Timo Werner. Timo Werner was one of the worst signings to come to England for someone. Well, when he didn't work at Chelsea, you could see that Timo Werner was really not playing even close to the player that first, we saw in Germany with Leipzig. And when Ange bought him, I would imagine they were paying him £175,000 a week to get him to Spurs. And I just couldn't see that working. We'd seen a guy that had struggled with that doesn't mean someone can turn a career around, but he really was a strange signing that comes, and I thought it had the fingerprints of Ange, who wanted to play attacking football with a certain type of pace on the wing. He never delivered.
You remember that first spell at Spurs? They were all singing "You're loving Big Ange" instead, and that first 8 games in charge. I mean, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was just completely overjoyed with Ange arriving at the club and playing that style of football. It did seem to work. But then everybody sussed it, figured it out very, very quickly.
Well, I would make another point on that. I think the first 10 games was, yes, they did take everybody by surprise, but they also, after the first 10 games, the injury started.
That's it. But given time then, Cass, and getting your players to adapt to play the way you want them to play, would it then work out if you were given time at Forest, or would they be in the Championship by the time they've adapted to the way he wants them to play?
Shebahn, playing a high line is not a problem against certain teams. But if you're going to play against a high line against everybody, you haven't adapted. Not every team plays the same. There's teams that play low blocks, and sit behind and counter-attack you. And then counter-attack you from different positions. They don't do it with the forwards. They do it with the midfielders or the wing-backs. It's hard to play against a high line against Crystal Palace. I was there yesterday. Bournemouth didn't try to do that because Palace are good at getting in behind teams, especially in the channel areas. Now, Tottenham had the pace of Van der Ven, who was lightning quick.
Yeah.
And a really good defender.
And in credit to Ange, he brought Van der Ven.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Yeah.
But relying on him to catch up people like 5 yards ahead of him when they couldn't get Ange's midfield couldn't get pressure on the ball. So you couldn't stop the player who was passing the ball put into a danger area.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care how quick you are. If you're allowing players in midfield to get their heads up and find passes because your midfield couldn't get near them, you're asking for trouble.
What's next for Forest? Is it Sean Dyche? Is it Mancini? I mean, Marco Silva, we know is in the frame, but why would he leave what he's doing at Fulham?
I have no idea what the owner would be thinking, who we're bringing in. I have no idea. I think management market's the hardest market to even guess at, because what evidence have we got? Who would have thought he'd have took Ange when Nuno was going to be out the door? It didn't seem like a normal sort of a managing pick for me. It felt, well, that's a bit left field, considering the way you play and the way your team has been set up for the last year and a bit to play.
Yeah.
Dyche would probably be the most obvious, but Sean might not want it. He might want certain things implemented in his contract to say, he might think, I might be out before Christmas.
They're 18th in the table currently. Where should they be looking to finish?
They're a mid-table team above. They got enough good players, Nottingham Forest, to be above mid-table.
Okay. And of course, they've still got Europa League as well.
Yeah. Which will be a little bit of a hindrance for them.
This Thursday, live on TalkSport against Porto, who will be in the dugout for Nottingham Forest. We'll continue that today here on Weekend Breakfast. 03717 223344. And we'll continue to build up to today's 4:30 game at Anfield. Good morning.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning. Welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Lots on the agenda today. Postecoglou, as you know, has been sacked by Forest after 8 games in charge. Forest captain Ryan Yates spoke to TalkSport's Sam Matterface after the game and said the players need to pick themselves up after yet another managerial sacking.
I think it was a collective effort, to be honest. From the players, everybody has to take responsibility. I think it'd be unfair to pin on anybody, and I think we have to look at ourselves in the mirror firstly and dust ourselves down and go again, because things in football can change really quickly, and that's what we're going to be thinking about.
We'll continue the fallout to Ange's sacking at Nottingham Forest. Meanwhile, we've got 2 big games to look ahead to today. Spurs take on Villa and Liverpool face Manchester United. Spurs manager Thomas Frank was full of praise for Unai Emery despite Villa's slow start to the season.
I respect him a lot. I think what he's done in his career is amazing. What he created at Villa is fantastic in so many areas. I think they did well in Champions League last season, and I think they have a very strong team.
As ever, all of the updates on all of the games coming for you on Game Day Live here on TalkSport today. And Brentford manager Keith Andrews has praised his side's start this season despite the upheaval at the club over the summer.
There's been so much made of the changes at the football club, and I think overall, I think we can be relatively happy with what we've produced, with a caveat of always looking to improve on a daily basis.
And it doesn't stop there. You've got Monday Night Football live for you here on TalkSport tomorrow night at the London Stadium. West Ham take on Brentford. We'll look ahead to that game a little bit later on. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. Morning. So, Cass, today in the Premier League, Spurs Villa 2 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
Liverpool Manchester United 4:30. It's going to be a good day. I feel it in my fingers.
Yeah. Well, look, historically they're 4 giant clubs in football, aren't they, in the Premier League? You know, Villa, European champions. Tottenham have got, not so many medals or trophies in the cabinets in recent years. I mean, we know Ange won one, but still a big club.
Put some respect on it.
No, well, Tottenham are a club that when they built the new stadium, Shebahn, it had to follow with Champions League football, being a side that are pushing always at the top end of the table. That's the idea of having a 60,000 new stadium, one of the best, or not the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea of pushing Tottenham to another level. Now, of course, it's been change of manager, so it's a new road. Thomas Frank, I always said, would be a real decent appointment because of his knowledge as a manager, the way he adapts to every situation. And he creates a great group of players, and additions will come in to keep improving them, I think.
Yeah, a win today would see them go up to second in the Premier League. We'll have all the updates for Spurs against Aston Villa kick-off at 2 here on Game Day Live on TalkSport with Sam Matterface. And then at 4:30, the fiercest rivalry in English football reignites itself as Liverpool lock horns with Manchester United.
Never disappoints, does it, when these two nemesises collide?
We are still the team that from open play creates the most XG chances, but we've conceded too many goals.
Eddie Nketiah has just blasted in from the corner of the 6-yard box. Selhurst Park erupts. Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1.
Mo obviously hasn't hit the height since he signed the new contract, although I do feel that this game could be the Salah isn't that bad.
Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0, and the full-time whistle blows. First time United have won 3 successive Premier League games at Old Trafford since April 2023. It will certainly ease the pressure on Ruben Amorim, but it was far from convincing.
Manchester United, we've chopped and changed managers. We've been there, we've done that. I think you've got to show some form of kind of giving the manager time.
We can win any game. So if we think about just winning the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one today. Hopefully, big game for the players, big game for the clubs, the fans, and of course the managers. Just a wee stat for you here, Cass fans were not present the last time Liverpool suffered 3 straight Premier League defeats, a fate that most recently befell them in February 2021. Will it happen today? It's an interesting time here to look ahead to the game with us is former Manchester United assistant manager Rennie Moulenstein. Good morning, Rennie. How are you?
Hi, Rennie.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Shebahn. I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Rennie, first out, obviously you've spoken a lot about Manchester United over the last few years. I've listened to you and you made a lot of really valid points. Have you seen, in your mind, although it's a big gap, a level of improvement in Manchester United in recent weeks?
Recent weeks? That's a good one. That's a good point. Obviously, Manchester United are going at least into the game against Liverpool after beating, obviously, Sunderland just before the international break. But before that, we haven't really seen the progression that we wanted, because I think if you look at the start of the season, there's still this level of inconsistency. And I think what United need is to get on a run of good performances and good results. Win, 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 win. You know what it means, Tony, at this level, how important that is. And that is exactly what United is looking for, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was really alluding to, Rennie, that, there has been some encouraging performances, but like you said, it's been more in one game than, saying, 3 or 4 game period.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the disappointing thing. I said it in the start of the season, because people were asking me, what do you think, what do you expect of Manchester United, because Ruben Amorim has had a pre-season now, he's brought the players in that he wanted. And I basically said, I really think that he needs to win 7 or 8 games out of the first 10, just to plant his authority, to that everybody can see, all right, I can see now where we're going, this is it, there's the consistency that we were looking for, and that hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but at this moment in time, we're still waiting for it.
Do you think Sir Jim Ratcliffe's comments about, he needs 3 years to be able to turn it around and make it work, do you think that will make it easier for Ruben Amorim to maybe take the pressure off and, I don't know, maybe make it a better performance for his team?
Well, I think, Shebahn, we're long enough in football when the club's starting to come out and back the manager publicly and all that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think every manager needs about 18 months to sort of plant his ideas to get them across. And he's moving towards those 18 months. Every manager needs time, obviously, but I think after about sort of 18 months, then, new managers come in, it's a new time, new players. He needs a few transfer windows, but after sort of 18 months, you need to start to see kind of a structure, kind of again, the word consistency is coming back in terms of performances and style. Every manager needs that, and he needs that backing. But we've seen it again with Nottingham Forest. If the results aren't there, then clubs make decisions.
Rennie, Liverpool have conceded 2 goals 6 times this season. And they're quite vulnerable because the way they play, they push their fullbacks on, they leave Konate and Van Dijk isolated to some degree. Do you see that as an opportunity for Manchester United today? Because obviously the pace of Mbeumo, the pace of Cunha, players that can make that difference. Do you feel that gives United a better chance than maybe in time gone by?
Yeah, I do. I think it's because I think everybody, again, in the beginning of the season would have said, I thought, Liverpool has done, excuse me, done very well in the transfer window. In the transfer window.
You okay? Oh, wow. That's a full frog. That's a full frog, really. You all right?
It's this time of year, Shebahn. It's this time of year.
I'm same.
They've done very well, and you would think that Liverpool strong with Isak coming in as well. But they've stuttered a little bit. It's a bit off and puff, like Arne Slot says. They conceded too many goals, and I think it could be a really nice game. It could be a really open game today, and United definitely has got the quality up there with Mbeumo and Cunha and all of them, and Fernandes to hurt them.
Yeah, who do you think needs to win more, Rennie? Amorim or Slot?
Yeah.
Well, they both are desperate for the win. I think Arne Slot needs to win to making sure that he keeps pace with the front runners, with Arsenal and Man City, and Manchester United needs to win, like I said, to get on that run they so desperately need.
Yeah, I mean, Sesko now is looking like he's ready to get goals for Manchester United. At first, it didn't look like a good fit because obviously players get their head turned, don't they, in the summer, Rene, with moves and all transfer speculation. He looks like he's started to settle in now, which is another good thing for Amorim.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's got potential, the boy, 100%. And I think he's better in the link-up play than Højlund was. But Tony, you know better than anybody else. As a striker, you live off service, and that is, I think, a little bit of the problem with United's system, that not always the strikers got the service they want and they need, to get the goals. But he scored a few goals. He works hard for the team and everything.
Yeah.
That's obviously a very promising sign for Amorim.
Have you got a wee prediction for us, Rennie?
Yeah, no. I'm going to stick a little bit on this side of the road. I think United could sneak away with a 2-1 win, really.
Oh, we're on the same page. I said the exact same scoreline. Rennie Mullenstein, great to have you on the show this morning. Thank you so much. How's Peen doing? I've not seen her in ages. How's she doing?
She's doing very well. Yeah, she's doing very well. Very busy. Keep very busy. But yeah, she's doing great.
Lovely. You know, Peen Mullenstein's Rennie's daughter, who you hear on Sky all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Rennie, thank you so much for your time this morning. Go and get a hot toady. Send one my way as well. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Thank you so much, Rennie. Don't forget all the updates coming on Game Day Live from 1:30. Of course, you've got Spurs against Aston Villa and then Liverpool against Manchester United with Sam Matterface. All the updates from those games. And the latest episode of the TalkSport Daily Podcast is available now on the TalkSport app. Our voice of live football, Adrian Dunham, joins Ollie Klink to count down his top 5 favourite footballing rivalries ahead of Liverpool versus Man United. It's going to be a good one. You can listen now on the TalkSport Daily Podcast on the TalkSport app. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on TalkSport. morning. Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast.
Is there a reason for Earth, Wind and Fire?
More the wind. Go on, let the boys out in the booth. Shake it, lads.
Ah, it's a classic. Yeah.
Love that. Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
It's been called the TV moment of the year so far. It's going to take some beating. Are you watching Traitors?
No.
Right.
I saw a little bit of it last night. Only a little bit. But
I know you love your sport. You don't like a lot of escapism through TV. But the Traitors really, it's literally capturing the nation.
Right, okay.
Every single season.
I know my missus is watching it in the other room with my son.
Right, so
I know I'm in the other room.
I hope Joe's listening to this, because I don't know if Joe is completely over social media, but this is trending. This awkward moment involving the Traitors and Celia Imrie with the host, Claudia Winkleman.
Welcome to the worst team-building away day experience in history. What just happened? I just farted, Claudia. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's nerves, but I always own up. I know. I always own up too.
What a legend. Oh, literally national TV here in a
Flatulence.
A little nervous.
Oh, no.
Yeah, great.
No, I hadn't heard about that one.
Oh, that is cracking. That really is. I mean, sorry, Claudia, I just farted. I'm like, yeah, we get it, we know. If you're a prude, you'll probably be offended by that, but you have to laugh.
Well, of course you do. It's quite.
You own it.
I've got a very good friend. Okay, I've known him since. Well, he's my brother-in-law's brother, but I've known. His name's Peter Cappuccio, and he's a family member, right? And I've known Pete since he was 11, and he always found it hilarious farting.
Peter
He's still today, he thinks it's hilarious, and I'm like, Pete, it's not that funny. He's like, yes, it is, and he's always been like that since an 11-year-old.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, already.
I mean, we've all got friends who think it's really funny, and others, because most of us sort of step back and don't really say too much, do we? And
but if you do it like that, you have to own it.
An accidental,
Yeah, because if you get
Well,
embarrassed,
the funny
then it's
is-
just awkward. But if you laugh at yourself, you're a legend. Oh, Celia Imrie, you're my new favourite person after that. Can we hear it one more time, Ed? Just the little moment. Can we hear it one more time?
I've called my mate out.
Oh, they're not going to play it again? It's too rude, apparently.
Oh, is it?
Boring.
Oh,
Is it? Oh, here we go.
Welcome to the worst team-building away day experience in history.
It's just so good.
Such an innocent one.
It really is. Right,
Anyways.
let's crack on now. Let's get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max one reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Dave, do you own it or do you avoid it? Where do you stand in this? Good morning.
Good morning, Shebahn. Morning. I don't know how many Coral slots I've done over the years. Hundreds, probably thousands. I've never had to follow a segment on flatulence.
Oh, there you go. It's a first for everything.
I think when you get to my age, you have to own it. There's no other way around
There
it.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
this
go.
is a most bizarre start to a slot ever, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I can add to that, David, because yesterday, I mean, there's probably I was driving when I heard the 200 to 1 winner, the 100 to 1 winner in another race, and I'm thinking, they can't be on the same day. These two big, outrageous odds.
Yeah, this was Ascot Champions Day, the season finale, 5 Group 1s, and we had a 200 to 1 winner, Powerful Glory, in the sprint, which was a new record for a Group 1. 150 to 1 was the previous price. Did actually have a few bets on that one, Powerful Glory. I mean, it is a very good name. Yeah. But then later on, we had a 100 to 1 winner, Cicero's Gift, which wasn't as popular with the punters out there. I mean, it was the most extraordinary day. There were some great performances as well. Calandagan, Kalpana were much easier to find. But, yeah, a bizarre day, one where the bookies... Mixed fortunes. Everyone thinks a 200 to 1 winner would be a great result. But as I say, you only need, 5 10. Somebody had 25 quid each way on that, which won them $6,000. So that was a great bet. So
Any double? Was there a double out there?
we haven't had a double. Anyone had the two? Funnily enough, my dad called me and said, I wish I'd had £1 on that double. I'm thinking, yeah, well... Don't we all?
I just wondered if there was a double. Look, we got football today, so obviously we got the early game. We got Spurs up against Aston Villa, and then we got also Liverpool versus Manchester United.
Yeah, and Tottenham, you said earlier, Shebahn, Tottenham can go second, maybe for a couple of hours if they win this.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a shade over even money, 21-20. But Villa have hit a little bit of form now. I think they've won their last 4.
Yep.
They're 5-2. The draw at 5-2 feels like a big runner in this. As I say, Unai Emery appears to have just got Villa turned around now. But Thomas Frank, what a job he's doing. And look, at the risk of upsetting Tottenham Villa fans, the big game is Liverpool Man United. This was always the one. When I was a kid, going back many, this was the biggest game. And it still is, isn't it? Despite the contrasting fortunes. Liverpool 4-7. It just looks a good opportunity. Manchester United 4-1. I know they've done well on their last couple of visits, United. I think they've got points from both of them. But the draw 17-5. Shebahn, you're a Manchester United fan. Mm-hmm. For all Liverpool so-called woes, you'd swap places with them tomorrow. Oh, you'd swap places with them right now, wouldn't you?
I mean, I'm just focusing, Dave, on the positives. And I go back to the last game before the international break. 45 minutes against Sunderland was a very, very positive performance. So I'm hoping we can continue on that.
Yeah.
I want a good performance. I'd take your hand off right now for a draw. I really, really would.
Yeah.
But I'm confident that hopefully we can maintain this positive step with Ruben.
And from the Liverpool perspective, Cass, you wouldn't settle for a point, would you?
No, and, everyone sort of says it's a good time to play Liverpool, and I'd say, well, not if you're Manchester United, because everyone knows how important this particular game is for Liverpool. 3 defeats and then being at Anfield and then the team that's coming into town. So it's a really, really, I think, a game. I'm so interested in team selection because I think he'll play Mo Salah. But I'm not sure if Mo Salah has another poor game, that if he'll be in the lineup in midweek in Europe.
Yeah. It's mad. I mean, Mo Salah was a superstar last season, wasn't it? And for whatever reason, I know obviously huge tragic events at Liverpool in the summer could still be playing a role. But you mentioned Sunderland there, Manchester United. I just have to look. The 3 teams that have come up, as they stand, none of them are in the bottom 3. Now, Burnley, what a great result yesterday, but they're still odds on for relegation. Wolves are the other team that are odds on. Then there's West Ham at 11-8, Leeds 9-4. But Nottingham Forest are the team we've got to talk about. The 5-2 for relegation. I don't know, it wasn't a surprise, I suppose, that Postecoglou was parted company. But where do they go next? We don't know any more than anyone else. Sean Dyche's favourite, 8-11. Mancini's 2-1. Pedro Martins is the latest name. He's moved into 8-1. But it's such I suppose nothing should surprise us in Premier League management anymore. But there's just, I don't think, we don't know where they're going next. And it'll be interesting to see if the club know where they're going next.
Yeah, considering Thursday live on TalkSport, they've got Porto. Dave Stevens, as ever, thank you so much for your time this morning. Have a good Sunday.
Cheers, guys.
Talk to you soon. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on TalkSport. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+ max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Dave didn't like that chat, did he?
No, he was fine.
He was totally fine. Coming up next, we're going to discuss the Premier League action ahead today with OG Sports broadcaster Jeff Shreves next.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Good morning. Welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. It's Shebahn Aherne, TalkSport's best poker player, Tony Cascarino. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Here's what's ahead for you today on TalkSport. You've got the Sunday edition. After us, all of the papers, all of the supplements will be covered with Sean Custis and Henry Winter. Then it's the warm-up with Max and Barry. All of the nonsense to keep you going. They come on at 12 o'clock, 1:30. Game Day Live with Sam Matterface. All of the goals as they go in from the Premier League and beyond. NFL is over on TalkSport 2. Download the TalkSport app. Swipe over to TalkSport 2 for the Rams versus the Jags at Wembley, 2:30 this afternoon. Then 6:30, the final word is here. Taking all your calls between Liverpool and Manchester United fans. And of course, all of the updates from the US Grand Prix as well. And then 9 o'clock, your evening is all wrapped up with Danny Kelly and the Trans at Euro Express. You're listening to TalkSport. This is Weekend Breakfast. Good morning. Now, what a dramatic day it was yesterday in the Premier League. Some great games, and then of course all of the chaos with the sacking of Ange Postecoglou from Nottingham Forest following the 3-0 defeat by Chelsea. Here to give us his thoughts on that and what's coming up today is the legend Jeff Shreves. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, Jeff.
Good morning. Hey, Kaz. How you doing?
Yeah, good. You enjoying your new life of doing all this football stuff still, loving every minute of it, Jeff?
Yeah, great fun, Kaz. Look, I was just listening to the news headlines there, and they said there's been a rise. Did you hear it? There's been a rise. I think it was 26% of young people under the age of 17 that have never had a job. Well, I'm 61, and given what we do for a living, I think I'm in that. You can't call it a job, can you?
No, it's something you love, Jeff.
Yeah, and look, we all know how lucky we are, and I'm not being trite when I say that, but genuinely, the Premier League still to this day, and other divisions as well, other competitions, it's just fantastic drama. It just unfolds before you. I mean, watching Nottingham Forest yesterday, of course, it's not pleasant for Ange Postecoglou, but the drama that it was, and you've got Marinakis sat there like the emperor in his seat. I mean, he didn't quite give it one of those, did he? But when he vacated his seat, that was it. It was as good as a thumbs down. So I just think it very, very rarely fails to deliver great entertainment. And, of course, for the likes of us, plenty of talking points and great, discussion.
Yeah, I was at Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth yesterday, Jeff, and what a fabulous game it was. And Bournemouth for 60 minutes was sensational. And then you saw the reason why Palace have gone unbeaten for so long. And OK, they lost at Everton, but how they've done that is that team just doesn't throw in the towel, Palace.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know we're going to talk about Ange, but you're talking there, aren't you, Kaz, about two well-drilled teams, two excellent coaches, not unheralded, that would be wrong to say that, but you can see why other clubs will be looking at both of those coaches thinking, do you know what, they're decent, they're more than decent. So how much do you think what we saw yesterday at Selhurst was down to good coaching?
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. It's a really valid point. Is from both teams, changes were made. It had an impact on the game, the outcome. Palace come from 2 goals down, get to 2-2, then changes by Andola, and then they get to 3-2 up, and then they get back to. It was just, of course, it was a lot to do with how well these two teams are drilled. Yeah, and we could probably take that to Ange, because what did you make of? Not what you just talked about, the way he lost his job, but if you look at his tenure in Premier League football, it's been a real roller coaster, more downward than upward, in my opinion.
It's a really, Ange is a really strange one, I think, to analyse. So, and I think you've got to separate fact from fiction, because, as he likes to tell us, he always wins a trophy in his second season. That is a fact. You can't argue that. So, if he's somebody that needs time each time, and he will deliver that trophy. I mean, what he delivered for Tottenham, bear in mind the last time that Tottenham had won a trophy, was just absolutely extraordinary. But as fantastic as that was, their league form was the polar opposite. Absolutely the polar opposite. And also, again, I don't want, you certainly cannot belittle, winning a major European trophy, which it was, is incredible. But I don't know if you remember, at the start of last season, Jose Mourinho was asked who he thought would win Europa League. He said, well, given the strength, it'll definitely be a Premier League team, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2 Premier League teams in the final. So I think you have to have a little bit of perspective there. That's how strong the Premier League is. But, I mean, there'll be a few people, not Nottingham Forest fans, who think that Marinakis has acted too quickly. 39 days, the 39 steps, and not many of them were forward, were they? So I just... It's not happening. It's not going right, and we're approaching a quarter of the season. So, has he done the right thing? And also watching the game unfold. I don't know what you two thought, but Forest could easily have gone in at half time 2-0 up.
Yeah, we were absolutely saying that. It could have been a very, very different story. Who do you think is the person to steady the ship? Is it Sean Dyche? You saw him a couple of weeks ago at the Nordhoff and Robbins Legends in Football night, and he was there. He looks happy. Do you think he would go back into management under an owner like Evangelos Marinakis?
Sean Dyche, he's got Nottingham Forest in his blood, of course. He's got a great affection for the club. He was a player there. Sean Dyche is a very capable manager, but and I'd certainly back Sean Dyche to go into any club and do a more than decent job. He's a good modern coach who understands the game, is a resilient person, he's pragmatic, and he gets results. But before I talk about, if you like, Sean Dyche, I always think it's quite interesting, the process of appointing a manager. I mean, for a start, was Ange a flawed appointment in the first place? And also what we often see in football, you get this cycle, don't you, where they go for somebody who's the opposite of the previous manager. If the previous manager played, if you like, very direct, a long ball, if you like, then they look for somebody who plays more of a passing game. If the previous manager was somebody who wasn't very good with the media, they often look for somebody who's really good with the media. It's as though the stick that they beat the previous guy with and got him the sack, they look to alleviate that and take, as opposed to having a clear ideology of, OK, this is who we are and this is what we've got. And also, again, a lot of talk, and this is why I do have some sympathy for Ange, because the style of football he was trying to impose on Nottingham Forest was completely different to Nuno's style. He was trying to change the whole thing. They must have known that when they brought Ange in. So you've got to bring in a coach, and we've heard this talk about Amorim as well, because he didn't want to come mid-season. The players they have, do they suit his 3-4-3 system? Patently not. getting there maybe now. So what have Nottingham Forest got right now? Rather than looking at the club and the position they're in, the players that they have, and they've got some very good footballers as well, what sort of coach suits them?
Well, I would have said the counter-attack, because they have pace on the wing. They have a centre-forward that is more traditional, that leads the line, and I don't think that they would have any other way of playing. They have full-backs that get forward quickly. They had a very strong back line with two centre-halves who defended brilliantly and a good goalkeeper. Yesterday, you couldn't allow for, Sells making a mistake, can you, that he did for the goal?
No.
And you're right. I mean, the game changed for me when Cascarino came on. Once he came on, it sort of shored Chelsea up a little bit, and from there, mistakes happened, and then Forest got punished, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, but let's be realistic. It's a big, big ask for Nottingham Forest to beat Chelsea yesterday, wasn't it? And they had a good go in the first half, but Chelsea have got some fantastic players, incredible roster they've got at the club. So they can turn it on and they can change a game. I mean, to be able to leave a player of the quality of Cascarino out from your starting 11 shows you, for me, the depth that they have. They might be a little bit short in a couple of areas, but the depth of squad that they have, and they flex their muscles second half. So it's not yesterday's defeat, is it? That's got
No,
it's not winning in 8 games, drawing 2, losing 6, conceding probably, I think, around 15 goals in that time, which is nearly 2 a game. But Ange conceded lots of goals when he was the manager of Spurs. It's the way he wanted to play.
I mean, winning a European trophy didn't save him at Spurs.
No. That's the thing. He could still win a trophy in his second season if he was at Forest, maybe in the Championship.
Yeah, look, the Premier...
It still could have been that. No, but I'm serious.
He's throwing shade.
Well, it's true. It's true. He might have still won a trophy if he was given another season, but it might not have been in the Premier League, and they can't afford that. Just very quickly, Jeff, Liverpool versus Manchester United today at Anfield. This is a great one. We love this game. How do you see it going? Who needs the win more?
Well, Liverpool on the back of 3 straight defeats, they obviously need to get things going once again. So, and they are obviously amongst the title challengers this season as champions. So, but in terms of isolation of the 3 points, Manchester United are not expected to challenge for the title this season. But just what if? What if they go there, they get the first win there since 2016, and that really kickstarts their season and the revival under Ruben Amorim. It's a massive, massive game. I love covering this fixture. It's one of those where you can feel the tension in the air. It's crackling, and no question. If you're the Liverpool players, for me, this is the ideal game, and it's also potentially the worst game. Yeah. You're always going to be up for this game if you're a Liverpool player, but if something happens, then, and the old confidence has gone a little bit, potentially after 3 straight defeats, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Shreves, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game today.
Cheers, Jeff. Bye-bye.
My great pleasure. Enjoy your day.
All the best, Jeff Shreves there. Sports broadcaster looking ahead to that one today. I wonder what Forest will do. I really do, because they've got a big game on Thursday live on TalkSport.
Second guessing the owner is now impossible.
No, whether he's already got it sorted out.
I'm sure. I was just keep thinking and wondering what Angie's going to do with the flat, the apartment that he took. He said about
just moved it into his new flat. What a shame. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Coming up next, we'll look ahead to Monday night's football. Good morning. Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino. The Sunday edition on the way with Henry Winter, Sean Custis next this morning, getting you all the details from the papers. It's all about Ange Postecoglou, gone in 39 days. He's been sacked as the Forest manager. What next there? Some of your other headlines you're waking up to this morning. Hearts extended their lead over Celtic to 5 points at the top of the Scottish Premiership with a dominant 3-goal win over Kilmarnock. And Manchester City defeated Everton 2-0 thanks to 2 more goals from Erling Haaland yesterday. I mean, he's been spoken about all week again because of the international break.
Yeah.
The guy is just an absolute freak in the best way. I mean, best striker maybe ever.
I don't know about ever. I think it's too early days. What we can say already is set numbers that are incredible at Manchester City. Even when he's not been involved in games, he scores so often. He has a real knack of getting all sorts of goals. And yesterday, his pace and power. I mean, he looks really fit this year. I've got to say that. You know, when he first come to the Premier League, he looks so sharp. And then last season, he had an injury. This season, he feels really up to speed.
They mic'd him up in Norway international break there, so they put a mic on him in training.
Right.
He's funny as well.
I would imagine
he's good crack. Yeah. Like, you can't be good at football and have good patter.
Yeah, well,
so that's your problem.
I wasn't good at football.
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew the next line.
We didn't just have Premier League action across the weekend. The EFL was as dramatic as ever.
Here on the TalkSport network, we've got all the big games. Sets up Swift in the area. Swift with the shots. Oh, it's 1-1. A brilliant counter-attack. And Portsmouth are level in fine style.
Norwich 0, Bristol City 1. The Robins inflicting on the Canaries a 5th consecutive league defeat at home. The anger from the Norwich fans at the final whistle was directed towards sporting director Ben Napper.
Stoke City 1, Wrexham 0. Sorba Thomas, the goal scorer. That's why after 36 minutes, it's Stoke City 1, Wrexham 0.
Here come Coventry again. Thomas Asante! Oh, another great volley from the edge of the area.
You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on TalkSport. TalkSport's live games yesterday finished at QPR 1 at Millwall 2.
Yes.
Big win away from Millwall.
Yeah, really big one. And a lot of Millwall fans would be delighted by that result. QPR, I think, had won 3 in a row just before they played. Yeah, so a great result for Millwall.
Coventry back at the top.
Yeah.
Blackburn 2-0.
Been flying all season, haven't they?
Yeah, Leicester Portsmouth was a 1-1 draw. More points dropped for Leicester.
Yeah, keep dropping points.
Yeah, exactly that. All the action from the EFL over on TalkSport 2 as well. We're home of live football. Let's look ahead to tomorrow night's game as well, Cass. Monday night, of course, it's West Ham taking on Brentford. Live for you here at 8 o'clock tomorrow. West Ham have won only one of their 8 Premier League games against it. Brentford Hammers boss Nuno Espirito Santo is looking for his first win with his new team and is hoping that his side can make the London Stadium a difficult place for teams to go to.
For me, it's very hard to analyze what's happened before. What I'm doing is try to improve, realizing that the home factor is really important. And like I said to you before, I think it's up to us now to go closer to the fans, to make them support us and help us, and so we can change everything and become a real fortress.
I mean, they're going to have to do something because it's a tough place for West Ham to go to at the moment. They haven't won a game there yet this season.
It's been a strange atmosphere. I've been a number of times over the last 18 months to London Stadium, and it's not been good. Big game for them. I mean, look, they played Arsenal the previous game just before the international break. Didn't really offer anything. It was a comfortable 2-0 win to Arsenal. This is a different game. They'd like to think they'd get something out of it. Brentford are off the back of playing Man United and Manchester City in the last couple of games in the Premier League. Beat Man United 3-1 and lost to City 1-0. So, you know, they'll go there and they will offer a threat. Not quite sure what West Ham will be because obviously Nuno's got to make big calls and trying to find a best 11 very, very quickly.
Yeah, West Ham versus Brentford live for you on TalkSport tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff. If you've got plans, download the TalkSport app. You can take the game anywhere with you, all thanks to the TalkSport app. And it's time now for this.
Setting the record straight. The Court of Arbitration for TalkSport. Calling Tony Cascarino.
Oh, the Court of Arbitration for TalkSport. Mr. Cascarino is with us to give his judgment on some of the most controversial questions in sport and decide their fate. The court is now in session. Oh, you've not got my little... There we go. Slow knocker this morning. Don't worry, it's Sunday. We're all a little bit behind. Today is International Gin and Tonic Day. No way! Is it? Oh, I'm going to have to get lashed. Cass, we know you love a G&T. Yeah. However, according to a survey, 44% of people would prefer a G&T over a cup of tea when getting together with pals. So end the debate. Is a G&T better than a cup of tea?
Are you having a laugh? How can you, if you're meeting up with pals, you're going to have a cup of tea?
Oh, see, I like your style. That's why we're best friends.
Have a gin and tonic. Actually, gin, a few years back, when I first got into different types of gin, really enjoyed, because gin got voted Spirit of the Year, didn't it? A few years back. And I got into it at that time.
They made it really trendy, didn't they? You could have like the certain tonics with a certain kind of gin, and then the gins were flavoured.
Yeah.
With here what?
Really, really nice, especially on a summer's day.
I'm a Hendrix and Fever Tree and a cucumber all day long.
Cotswolds gin I like.
Cotswolds gin?
Really nice.
We must go for a little debrief one day after the show.
Yeah.
Rein it in. In other news, TalkSport's Mickey Gray says Sean Dyche is the perfect choice for the next Nottingham Forest manager. In the debate, Cass, who should it be?
Don't know. Would I say the perfect choice? I think if you could get some guarantee from the owner that you could get some sort of stability at the football club, then I would say, yeah, Sean, that could fit for Sean. Yeah. I just don't see that.
Somebody threw out yesterday at an event I was at, Brendan Rodgers. And then I'm like, no, because, he's Celtic and obviously he's not signed a new contract yet. I think it's been a trickier start to the season, obviously, for Celtic.
There's a lot going
on there.
It's not just in Rangers, it's Celtic. It's been a lot of issues, isn't there, off the field?
I don't want to put that out there at all, but is that something you think? Well, it wasn't exactly me. But is it something to think about?
He's an accomplished manager and done very well, obviously, at Celtic and in jobs in England as well. But I'm not sure if he'll get away with upping sticks, even though the fans are unhappy with the board at Celtic anyway. I'm not sure he'd get away with just leaving again.
Sean Dyche or Roberto Mancini, who are you going for? Give me one.
Oh, I'd definitely go for Sean Dyche over. Not that Roberto Mancini. I just don't think the way he plays football is what Forest need now. They need someone to get back to being really good defensively, because let's remember that was one of the main reasons why they were so successful.
Absolutely.
Last season.
Sitting 18th in the table.
Yeah.
They've got that game against Porto live on TalkSport in the Europa League this Thursday. Who will be the manager in the dugout? That was the Court of Arbitration for TalkSport on Weekend Breakfast.
Setting the record straight. The Court of Arbitration, Cass on TalkSport.
Serious stuff. Cass, have yourself a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you next week.
Yes, and you, Shebahn.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the football today. The Sunday edition is on the way next.